One love to the humble. One love to the humble. One love to the humble. Peace and blessings be multiplied unto you. Hey, the question is, do black people do better under the Republican Party or do they do better under the Democratic Party? Well, this is an easy one for me. Easy one. You don't got to do a lot of research. You can do some simple research on this one and find that answer out real quick. And the reason why I say an easy one for me is because of the way I judge success, or the way I judge what's happening. Because, see, what a lot of people don't know is there was a time that black people were not Democrats. We were not Democrats. There was a time when black people they were not into they voted, they wanted to vote, but it wasn't based upon a race thing. It was just simply based upon wanting to show their individuality as a person. They wasn't voting like we do today. We vote like based on a group. Like this group is this, that group is that. Black people of back in the day, and I'm talking like fresh out of slavery, coming up through those eras, even in the Jim Crow era, before prior to the civil rights movement, black people were not concerned about this group mindset like we think now. See, excuse me, I was eating some gummies, and they got in my gums, they got in my teeth. Excuse me for that. But um, black people didn't vote based upon race. Now I know that's hard to believe because the things they show you, with those of you who was not alive then, I wasn't either. But those of us who were not alive then, what they do is they show us video. See, when you show somebody a video or something, you can show them any kind of video you want. As long as you put the right narrative on top of that video, meaning as long as you put the right voiceover on top of that video, you can construct an idea in a person's mind to make them believe something that's not really happening in that video. That's very easy to do. I've seen it done multiple times. I was in the military. I know how propaganda works. And you can make it seem like something that it's not. And I can make you believe something that you're looking right at it, or you might have participated in it. But if I tell you it enough times over and over again, whether it's true or a lie, if it's a lie, you will start believing it to be true. And you could be standing right there in the physical, right there in present time, watching it take place. But if I take that same thing you watch take place right in your face, I take that and put it on a video, knowing you don't know any better, and I change it up and say, well, nah, that wasn't what you saw. What you really saw was this. And I keep telling you that over and over and over and over again. You're going to eventually think that maybe I didn't see that. Maybe what I actually saw was this. That's how propaganda works. That's how mind control works. That's how I can change up what you believe anytime I want. And that's what tends to happen when it comes to us as black people. We're the easiest ones to get like that because we don't know who we are. We don't stand for anything. We have no sense of morals. We have no values. We have nothing anymore. Now, when they had that, it was hard to change them. But when they start losing it, when we start losing it, that's when it was easier to infiltrate and switch us up. We don't have the strong men that we used to have anymore, so they can't lead anymore. They're afraid to lead. They're afraid to stand up for truth. They're afraid to tell people to do what's right. Now, I say all that to get into the Democratic Republican situation. Well, during that time, like I say, black people did not vote based upon a race issue. It was more about individuality, who I am as a man. That's what it was about at that time. So we voted. We was mostly about being a Republican, as far as based upon what it stands for. We didn't have all these type of programs and all these things. So during that time, you got to think about what was going on during that time. Now, a lot of people going to point to Jim Crow, racism, segregation, and all that. But see, whether you like it or not, segregation wasn't really a bad thing. It wasn't really an issue at all. The only issue with it was when black people tried to force white people to let them come into their restaurants and sit at their tables. No one is going to allow you. This ain't about we all Americans. It ain't about that. or it ain't about you got something we don't have. It ain't about that, because black people had all of that. When do you think Tulsa, Oklahoma was? You think it was before civil rights or after civil rights? When do you think that was happening? When do you think all the black Wall Streets around the United States was happening? Before civil rights or after civil rights? Okay, so if it was before civil rights, then that's a clear indication that what you think you know about what was happening back then is absolutely wrong. Yeah, they did end up coming in Tulsa and burning it down, but it was not. If it was about race, they would have burned it down a long time ago. But we know how this works. You can, even today it's done. Black people will post a video or something, or somebody black getting manhandled or whatever by the police or by whoever, and then they say, look what they did to this black person. But the part about what happened before that, they don't show you that part. They just take that out because they want to keep you angry and mad, so they only show you the parts that's going to get you riled up. They don't tell you the whole story, when typically it's because that black person did something first, but they don't show you that part. Anyway, so black people were doing more Republican things, like working hard, building their own, doing everything for self. They didn't have nobody being their leader. Like today, we got leaders. Everybody talking about a leader. We've been conditioned into that I need a leader mindset. But back in those days, it wasn't about having a leader. Back in those days, it was about doing for self, standing for self. You a man, you be a man, and you stand up like a man. That's what it was about then. But then when the civil rights movement came, everything started to change. It became a thing where they sold the black people into the Republican Party. Now, some people say, well, the party switched. Parties ain't switched. We can go and get that off the table. The parties did not switch. That just flipped. That was somebody saying that to keep black people as Democrats. Now, I don't care what you choose to do or what side you choose to be on, but here's the real deal. If you vote in Democrat, have you ever looked at the Democratic platform? I got to pull it up right here. Democratic 2024 platform. I always look at the platform. I always see what they're running on. Both of them, Democrats and Republicans. But most people who are Democrats don't have a clue what a Democratic platform is. They don't even know. They probably never been to the Democratic page and looked at anything on that page. That's probably, they just vote blindly because they feel if they say some things that make them feel good, or maybe somebody like the black president walking and pimping and dapping people up and doing what we do in the street, that was attractive. So they felt like, hey, he must be good. We don't need to know what he's running on. We don't need to know what none of them running on. As long as they talking what we need to hear, we find whether it's really a policy or not. But the Democratic Party, they are good for programs. They like to come up with programs. Programs don't help you. They never have and they never will. There is nothing going to help you. Nothing a program will do to help you. What a program will do is put money in politicians' pockets, and it'll give you some crumbs, but it won't lift you up out of your situation. So we can do programs all day, and don't nobody love doing programs more than black people. We love to come up with a new program to give to the black community. We don't need any more programs. See, the Republicans are not about programs. The Republicans are about taking away programs and creating more jobs. People getting off welfare, getting off government assistance and going to work. That's what some people gonna say, well, I already work somewhere and I still need assistance. But if you're already working and you need assistance, that's different than a person who is living off of assistance and believe that they should have a program. Because that person, if you're on assistance right now and you're working, that's only because your job ain't paying enough. But as soon as you get a raise or promotion and you move up in the ranks, you'll be able to come off of government assistance. See how that works? Okay. Now, back to what I was saying. Those programs are designed to keep you in the same place. They're not gonna. I don't care how many programs you throw at black people, and they've been throwing them at them since after the civil rights movement, and ain't nothing changed in our community. As a matter of fact, if you look at the stats, we're in the exact same place today as the slaves were when they first came out of slavery, statistically. Now there's some worse things that's going on, but far as stats go, we're in the exact same place. We haven't moved any distance. I've read up on these things. I looked at a guy named Dr. Claude Anderson. He's a PhD And he studies he studies economics. He talk about black economics. Read his books. I got his books. I read them. I'm not 100% like agree with everything he say, but a lot of things he say I agree with 100%. Okay, so to me, to make it simple and plain, the Democratic Party is worse for black people than the Republican Party. The Democratic Party don't stand on anything that's uplifting, anything that's growth oriented at all, as far as I'm concerned. If you're gonna vote for a party, it probably should not be the Democratic Party as a black person, because they're not gonna do anything for you. But what they've been doing for the last, ever since the 1960s, however long that go, 50, 60 years, that's what 50 something years, they've been doing the same thing. Probably 60 years by now. And we're still in the same condition. Well, a lot of us are still in the same condition than today as we were back then. I mean, this is an easy one. It's an easy one, y'all. But people are scared of the Republican Party because the Republican Party, they're gonna take away our programs. Them programs ain't gonna, it's not helping you. It's hindering you. It's keeping you in the same spot. You can't grow and do anything if somebody keep giving you a handout. It's gonna make you lazy and not want to do nothing because you can get all this for nothing. But the things they're giving you, it don't help your generation. It don't help the next generation of kids coming up in your family. It puts them in the same predicament you in, and they repeat the cycle over and over again. But everybody complaining about the white man. How you complain about the white man, but yet you take all the handouts. And symbolism. Another thing the Democratic Party good for is symbolism. They do a lot of symbolism. They dress up in the African garb. They take a knee, they kneel. They do all those things to appease you. But they ain't gonna do nothing for you that's gonna be beneficial. You don't see Republican parties doing that. I think the Republican Party should start speaking more to black people, but they don't, because they already know that they've seen for years that the black vote is locked in to the Democratic Party. They don't even have to do much. I mean, they bringing out Megan Thee Stallion, they bringing out rappers, they bringing out the lowest of the low to speak. I mean, what do they think of black people to think that that's what we want to hear them? We want to hear Cardi B speak at into a presidential campaign. We want to see Megan Thee Stallion twerking. What kind of crap is that? This is a presidential campaign. And these are the people they bring out for you to, like, they'll have no other intelligent black people nowhere on the planet that can come up there and speak. But this is what they pick. I can name about 5 right now that I know of that would have been a way better fit. But see, the problem is they can't bring them type out, because them type of smart, intelligent, well-spoken, well-to-do black people won't be attracted to that. They won't like that. They'll call him a sellout, a coon, and all these things because he don't go with the flow of how we think. So they give you what you want. They give you Cardi B and all of them. But hey, man, in a nutshell, the Democratic Party, black people doing worse, have been doing worse, and will always do worse. And well, I can say worse, but will continue doing the same thing they're doing right now, as long as they keep voting that way. And people got them believing that. No, I ain't gonna say that. I'm gonna say this: it don't matter what side you go on. At the end of the day, if you get out here and do it for yourself, you'll get where you need to be at. You wouldn't need no politics. Asians, you don't see Asians represented nowhere in politics on a heavy scale. But yet they're the number one, they're the highest paid race in the United States. It ain't white people. It's Asians. Asians are number one. If last time I checked, if I'm not mistaken, I think Asians was number one. I think white people probably number 3. But they're not represented nowhere in there. But they getting out here building businesses, nose to the ground, in the corner, putting things together, building, networking, growing. While we out here continuously doing the same thing we've been doing since 1960, protesting, looking for a program, vote for the Democrats. Yo. We're not doing good under Democrats. All right? That's it. We're not doing well under Democrats, and we never will. Y'all take care.